Some fans are concerned about replacing VGK's points lost through free agency and trades. I don't get it. Mitch Marner to the rescue. It's a Marner Monday edition right here on Locked On Golden Knights.
You're Locked On Golden Knights, your daily podcast on the Vegas Golden Knights, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hi again, everyone, from Las Vegas, Tony Cardasco and Chris Golick. Thanks for making us your first listen every day. I'm a longtime sportscaster, a marketing consultant, and the host of the new Believe in Vegas podcast. Chris is the owner of Silver State Cards and Sports and the collectibles editor for the Hockey News. Now, coming up on today's show, of course, our top headline, points gained versus points lost. Did Nick Hague cost VGK Andersson? Not whatever I called them. And persona non grata for Olfasson and Samsonov. They're still out there as free agents. We are brought to you today by FanDuel, FanDuel.com. That's the place to be. If you are new to FanDuel, new customers can bet just $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. Are fans really concerned, Chris, about the loss of points? Olfasson, Pearson, Waugh? It really, to me, defies all logic. It does. VGK, unlike a season ago, shouldn't have those types of concerns when they lost a bundle of points. And in fact, Mitch Marner, Marner Monday fame, he could make up, 109 points himself, if you think about it.
100%. And when you look at starting with the injury loss of Pietrangelo, and then, of course, you look at the other players that have been gone, Nicolas Hague and everything, and now Nick Hague's got a few points. And what's happened as far as players leaving versus players entering. And it's not just Mitch Marner and his projected 100-point season. It's full seasons of Riley Smith and Brandon Saad, which could be 50 points right there between those two. We're closer to 60, 65, 70 points, health pending, a lot of things right there. A player that a lot of people have forgot about, and he had a pretty good season last year. How about Brett Howden in a 40-point season, predominantly in a bottom 9 role? We'll see if he can maybe work his way into the top 6 this year as well. And then, of course, Mitch Marner and his 100 points is certainly going to help things. But the Golden Knights lost somewhere in the neighborhood of 130 points. Oh, you have Mitch Marner, that's 100 points right there. Now you factor what Saad, what Howden, what Smith are going to bring to the table and everything. And honestly, it's kind of a non-starter as far as a concern for the lost points, especially, Tony, to your point, what you said, people were flipping out, us being two of them, over the losses of Stevenson and Marchessault. I see you putting some on the napkin there, with the losses of Stevenson and Marchessault and how those points got replaced. We haven't mentioned Pavel Dorofeev yet. So this is a net win no matter how you slice this.
Okay, so I did put on the napkin here. VGK needs to pile up points early before the Olympic Games. That's what I put on there. Because
it's every team, but sure.
Well, they're going to have 2 of their superstars there, possibly 3, 4. There's 3 superstars that we know of. I sent you a graphic about most career assists. We know Marner is an elite goal scorer, but Mitch Marner Monday, has the second most assists of a winger through 9 seasons, and he's only by the great Guy Lafleur, who had 536 helpers, Marner 520, and I feel as though he could be poised. I know this sounds crazy. Could he get to that 80 assist mark this upcoming season? He's had some tremendous seasons in the NHL, but the magic number for some Marner magic would be 80.
Just trying some stupid AI. AI is everywhere. AI, go away. Stop bothering me. Stop wanting to be in my life.
It gets in the way sometimes. I know.
It's AI. It's AI Monday, not Marner Monday. No, so Mitch Marner, 75 assists last season, 80 assists isn't that far away at all.
I know. Could you imagine? That's such a huge number, though, when you think about it on paper.
You also have nearly a 70 goal scorer with him in Austin Matthews. And the Golden Knights don't have that player as far as that scoring superstar. Now, entered Pavel Dorofeev, that might obviously change that perspective very quickly here. But 75, 59, 69, 62 assists in the last 4 seasons for Marner, who has played between 72 and 81 games in each of those seasons. So this is where you wonder how Cassidy's going to handle this. And it's going to be rolling day by day, shift by shift, game by game basis. But if you have Eichel and Marner out there, can Eichel end up taking the reins and becoming a 40 goal scorer, 45 goal scorer? If Barbashev,
if he would shoot the stinking puck, he could be.
Someone has to, according to Kelly McCrimmon. That was
Someone
pretty funny in the welcome presser. That left wing position is going to be key, whether it's Barbie, whether it ends up being Dorofeev or Brett Howden. I mean, is there a world that exists where Brett Howden is somehow, depending on trades and what have you, where Brett Howden gets on that top line? And I honestly wouldn't be against the prospects of it. He's got the speed. He's got the will to drive to the net. He's got the will to grind in the corners and everything. So, I mean, is this where the Golden Knights turn a $3.5 million AAV into a 38 goal scorer? The answer is possible.
Okay. VGK did improve here in free agency in so many ways. I even compared Colton Sissons and Nic Roy's success in the face-off circle, prompted by Kelly McCrimmon. Colton Sissons and Nic Roy, 54.8% for Sissons and 48% for Roy. And we heard again, Kelly McCrimmon just really thought that this was a good deal for VGK, especially with the way that Sissons plays there in the face-off dot.
Yeah, I mean, Sissons certainly is going to help this team in many of the same ways as Nicolas Roy did.
54.8. I would have him work with Jack Eichel. Sorry to interrupt you there.
No, you're good. And Eichel needs work on his face-offs. There's no doubt. I mean, I'd probably point to Hurdle as well, but that's a commitment that Jack has to make. And it's like Shaq shooting free throws. It didn't happen too often. So, that's something that Jack, if he wants to up his percent by 1 or 2 in the circle, he needs to. I don't know what Jack's offseason regimen is like, but I feel like face-offs is not one of them, and maybe it should be. And it's not even maybe doing it on the ice. It's studying film of some of the greatest face-off centermen and stuff like that, and just that overall commitment to that side of his game. Just looking at some of Sissons' points here, he's topped off at 35 points with the 23-24 Nashville Predators. 15 goals, 20 assists. I mean, I feel like that's like a high watermark for Nicolas Roy, although I'm probably getting proven wrong when I look at his numbers here. So Nicolas Roy, 31 and 41 points. I don't think Sissons getting to that 28, 30 point in neighborhood is unreasonable by any means. But while the nice thing about Sissons versus Nicolas Roy is Sissons is the 4th line center. That could change every now and then for injuries. There will be injuries throughout the year, but Nic Roy, there was always questions about where he would fit in. It would be 4th line center, but then all of a sudden he's up there on 2nd line right wing. All of a sudden he's on the 2nd, 3rd line left. Like outside of that, Nicolas Roy couldn't do as much.
This is a pure center. This is a pure center.
Absolutely. Exactly, 100%. There's no questions. He's a 4th line center, or he's not in the lineup.
Right, and I think that's good. One other note for Mitch Marner Monday, plus 128 for his career, and 50 career power play goals. I think I'm most excited to see the way this power play unit is going to roll this upcoming season.
Long as someone can shoot the darn puck, I mean, that's going to be the trouble. And now, to be fair, some of the best power plays, they do that tic-tac-toe. I always go back to the Tampa Bay Lightning for a long period of time and their power play structure. That's what the Golden Knights structure is going to look like, elbow to elbow to the point and stuff like that, and those quick those tip shots, not slap shots, those tip shots right from like the high slot and stuff.
What
like
about the shot passes?
No shot pass. Shut up, Tony.
But
back to the graphic you sent me. I just want to go back here. Like a lot of people are dogging. I'm sure the Leafs fans will be frequenting really fast here, but
I don't get why people don't like Marner here. The VGK fans, get over it.
Well, whatever. I'm not going to say what I really think of them, but really fast. LaFleur, Mitch Marner second, Yager, Bossy, Panarin, Curry, Kucherov. That's the company that Marner is in through the first nine years of his career.
Coming up next, did Nic Hague cost VGK a chance at getting Rasmus Andersson ahead on Locked On Golden Knights? Summer sports are in full swing, and whether you're all about baseball under the lights, you've got golf on the green, the NBA Summer League rolls into town this upcoming week. You've got some good hoops, you have high-stakes soccer action, and I was over at the Orleans Arena this past weekend, and table tennis is here, and yes, you can bet on it at FanDuel. Go to FanDuel.com today, and again, why not get into the action and enjoy it? FanDuel tracks your favorite matchups. The app keeps it fresh with new daily promotions and fun ways and unique ways to bet. It's easy to use and fast to pay out, and it makes even regular season games feel like must-watch events. New to FanDuel, new customers can bet just $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. Open the FanDuel app today, or you can visit FanDuel.com/LockedOnNHL to get started. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Back on this edition of Locked On Golden Knights from Las Vegas. We're recording on a Sunday for Marner Monday. And yes, I was over at table tennis the other day. Great setup at the Orleans. They've got one table set up inside the arena, and there's, I think, 3 other tables outside in a tent. So it's pretty unique here.
There's only one table set up in the arena?
Yeah, they call it the Maverick Arena, and it's pretty cool with lighting and everything else. Okay. And that's where the finals will be and the big marquee matchups, I suppose. But just in talking to some of the table tennis players, I was like, during the pandemic, there was nothing to bet but table tennis. And that definitely fueled the popularity of that sport. It's pretty interesting. If you have a chance, get out there and check that out in our city.
I think about Forrest Gump when I think about table tennis.
Is it table tennis? I didn't want to call it ping pong and get cracked. I did learn one thing.
You can't call it ping pong?
I didn't. One thing, if you're going out there to the Orleans, I learned, do not wear white in the stands because it blends in with the ping pong table tennis ball. Word over the weekend.
Well, they can't do table tennis after Labor Day. Is that how that works then?
It pretty much.
Okay.
Good call there. Word over the weekend that VGK and Calgary couldn't complete a trade that would have sent Nic Hague to the Flames in exchange for Rasmus Andersson. The reason, Hague nixed the deal from all reports because he didn't want to sign a long-term contract in Calgary, and instead he goes to Nashville on a 4-year deal. What's up with that? Why wouldn't he help out this team? He got the bag. You think it was the term and the money that held him up, or was it a long-term deal?
I mean, listen, it is. I know Gary Bettman's trying to downplay this about the tax savings of players, whether they're playing in, places like Nashville and Vegas and Florida and things like that, or not wanting to play in Canada. But the reality is, I think that had something to do with it. The Flames are a decent team, I think, on the way up right now, number one. Someone like Nic Hague, low, mid-20s, whatever his age is right now, 25, 26, 24, whatever. You would think he wants to go on an up-and-coming team or a team that's contending for a Stanley Cup. Preds, I mean, yes, they had their situation last year, but there's a lot of good players there. And, of course, Jonathan Marchessault is there, so there's familiarity. And there's also the financial savings for, signing that longer-term deal in Nashville versus going up to somewhere in Canada. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Calgary and Winnipeg are one of the toughest places to kind of rope in free agents and such, just for that reasons, among others. But the financial benefits of playing in the States and, with the tax implications and everything of certain states as well, I think that's a big part of it. And I think Hague just simply wanted the bag and to find a team that was still in a good place. Nashville is not as bad of a place as people want to think they are. The Flames, I think, are equal footing as far as a team that might make some waves next season. They may or may not, but I think Hague wanted the money, plain simple. Maybe likes the weather too.
In the hunt for Rasmus Andersson currently, VGK, Ottawa, and the LA Kings. The Senators and Kings, however, we now find out from the fourth periods, Dave Pagnotta, are on Anderson's no trade list. So that came out over the weekend.
Which places were?
Ottawa and the LA Kings. Kings cannot get a break. They can't because they were in the Marner stakes. They can't catch a break.
Yeah, I mean, it's very interesting to see how this is going to play out. And Anderson, unfortunately, has kind of tipped his cap a little bit, basically saying if Vegas or bust. We did Marner or bust. Now Anderson's like, screw this, I can play this game too. Vegas or bust. So that's going to complicate a possible trade deal. And I did my armchair GM thing over the weekend, and I said, all right, Barbashev, Trevor Conley, a second for Anderson, and the Flames have to retain 25%. That leaves VGK $3.5 million to go shopping for one of the remaining NHL free agents.
Hold it right there. I just listened to the 3-hour plus finale of 32 Thoughts. And at the very end was VGK. They went in alphabetical order. And Elliot Friedman said today, Sunday, on 32 Thoughts, McCrimmon also made a phone call to Barbashev in addition to Hurdle and Carlson, and he told all of them that they won't be traded. So no Barbie on the grill, no Barbie in the deal. Who's gone then if they do complete this trade? I mean,
Connolly in a second, done. Problem solved. Although everyone is head over heels over Trevor Conley all of a sudden. I don't.
All of a sudden they like this guy. Okay, great.
Well, no, I mean I know where you're going to go with that. That's not where I was going to go.
No, I'm going to go that way because that's the whole fabric here of like, okay, yeah, these people that we're bringing here are really good citizens. And no, enough of that already.
Well, Trevor Conley, I mean, listen, on the positive, if we're going to talk about the public persona and everything, he's been quiet for the last year. VGK did a good job of not hiding, because I think he faced it head on, but they did a good job of building him up a little bit.
A lot of PR.
Yeah. So on the other side of that, listen, Conley might be a good NHL talent. He might be a great NHL talent. But I will gladly.
They don't need it.
Well, fine, but I will gladly take a defenseman that could be consistently in the top 4, if not top 2 pairing for the next 8 years, knowing what we have in Rasmus Andersson, where Trevor Conley, we have 4 assists at the American Hockey League level in 6 games. Whoop-de-friggin' do.
But how do you shed a lot of the cap there? So Whitecloud, someone defensively has got to go. Whitecloud and Hutton, I don't know what the combination would be, but if you look at Rasmus Andersson, solid on the right side, top pairing currently, first D-line combo, 31 points last season, but a minus 38. Okay, he hated playing up at Calgary too. For potential new addition to the IKEA line, him and Carlson defensively. He's durable the last 4 seasons. He's played 82, 79, 78, 81 games. He's very durable. And so someone becomes expendable if this happens. But holy smokes, could you imagine a top-line defensive pairing of Shea Theodore and Rasmus Andersson?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it winds up being, I think that top line winds up being maybe Andersson and Hannafin at that point. But either way, I mean, that's a good argument to have when the time is right. Looking at the Golden Knights, okay, so really fast, we're getting close on the segment here. I see the clock, but $2.75 million for Zach Whitecloud. Let's say Zach Whitecloud is the casualty, and whether it's a draft pick, Connolly, whatever, who cares?
He didn't get a phone call from McCrimmon.
Yeah, exactly. Golden Knights right now today are call at $1.9 million. Zach Whitecloud is 2.7, so now we're in the ballpark of 4.6. You get that's right on the money, right? Rasmus Andersson, I think it's 5.5.
4.5, I thought.
Is he 4.5? Like he's 4.5, then you're home. Done. If it's 5.5, get Calgary to eat $1 million, give him a draft pick, call it done.
Is it still a tamper-free zone, or can VGK, do they have one?
Well, apparently if Hague wasn't willing to sign an extension, there's been tampering already. Seriously.
Coming up next.
Right? Isn't that how that works?
Coming up next, two of the top free agents out there currently, believe it or not, Victor Olofsson and Ilya Samsonov.
Oh, it's a rough free agent market. It got bad quick.
Next on Locked On Golden Knights. Welcome back to Locked On Golden Knights. We're recording on a Sunday for Marner Monday. Yes, the answer is yes, absolutely, 100. We are continuing year-round. The next 8 years, Marner Mondays. Marner Mondays. We have to do this. I mean, this is the best. Don't forget.
Marner's bought me a few coffees. I'm not going to lie. It's been helping.
Don't forget on Fridays, it's WTF Day. I was driving in the car the other day, still laughing. Which Golden Knight would help an elderly Pietrangelo across the street? That was off the charts. That was probably number one on the all-time WTF list. But who would it be? You said Korczak, I think.
Korczak, okay. Yeah, because I got personal experience with him.
Because he's helped you.
And I'm old. I'm old and I got bad hips, so there you go.
Carries some boxes. Could VGK re-sign Olofsson and or Ilya Samsonov?
Not the or parts. Take the or. No,
Samsonov is Samsonov on a list of, by the way, sorry, man, but by the way, Samsonov was at the top of the list of remaining free agents that I saw. He was number one.
Yeah, there's a few lists out there.
But there's no goaltenders out there. And somebody's got to sign them, right?
So it's some combination of Razovic, Grzelcyk, Skinner, Jeff Skinner, that is, Olofsson, Pacioretty, Samsonov, Luke Kunin, Jan
Bring Pacioretty back.
Fabry, and Travis Hamonic. Never even heard of Travis Hamonic. Those are your top 10-ish remaining free agents. And when I was doing the old Twitter search today, friggin' Samsonov is considering going back to the KHL right now. I just saw that this morning too. So that's why persona non grata seemed to make sense right there. And Olofsson, this is and again, if Barbashev is off the table, then this is probably
the KHL for Samsonov. That's classic.
That's perfect. That or Edmonton. Either way, it's screwed. But Olofsson is interesting, and you wonder if. And again, looks like it's not going to happen from what you just said about Barbashev being on the call list of McCrimmon. Hey, you're not getting traded, bro. Chill out. But if Barbashev were to be traded, you wonder if McCrimmon were to approach Olofsson and be like, dude, no one's going to sign you. Just face it. Here's $1 million. Come back to Vegas for another season. I don't love it, but if it's like $1 million and it's that cheap and it's going to help the power play, it's okay to have a logjam of 7 players that should be on the top power play unit, because that gives you 2 good power play units at that time. Olofsson 5-on-5, I don't like that by any means. I don't know where he would fit in the lineup if that were to happen, because it seems like the third line is cemented right now. Smith, Carlson, and Saad. Olofsson Olofsson, Marner, Eichel, fine. Olofsson will score 50. They'll have 4 assists and 50 goals.
Yeah. Did you see? By the way, Riley Smith was on the VGK float in Summerlin for the July 4th parade, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's nice. Smith is gonna. Whether Smith was, to be fair, it would maybe not a VGK float, but Smith might have done that either way, whether he's on the team or not. That's just how he loves the city.
He just has an affinity for our city.
No, Smith is great, and I'm so again that was my happiest point last season, watching Riley Smith in warmups for his first game. That was just awesome. It felt so good.
One list had Georgiev like number 2. I think free agent. Yeah. I don't understand why are Sammy and Olofsson still out there. Did they want too much money?
For what? Who? Where? When?
Sammy and goalless.
Why is he still a free agent? You're saying why are they free agents?
Both still out there as free agents?
Olofsson, I think there's concern for the 5v5 metrics, and Samsonov, I think there are the same concerns that every team has. His work ethic is questionable. We talked about that early on, where there was reports that the first thing he was wondering about was time off during the season. And you saw pockets of solid play from Samsonov.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, you saw long runs of D-level beer league goaltending from Samsonov as well. And I kind of question his locker. I have no reports here, but I kind of question his locker room habits and as far as how he is as a teammate goes and everything. So there's a lot of concerns about Samsonov. And He's a warm body that could probably play 35 games in the NHL, and no one wants to sign him. Or he thinks he's worth 3 times 2 to some team or 3 times 3 to somebody, and he ain't.
No, for sure. And yeah, there's goalie concerns, as we mentioned on Friday's show for the VGK here with that look from Kelly McCrimmon.
I don't think Kelly brings him back on a minimum deal, a 1 times 875. I don't even think McCrimmon would be interested.
Do you remember all of the rules? I know only one time Nate Schmidt won an arbitration here in Vegas, but you remember all the rules about salary arbitration? Because Sunday, we're recording this show, and Sunday afternoon / evening, we will find out teams have the exercise option on contracts headed to arbitration, perhaps.
Right.
And there's some decent names out there. Capo Caco is still out there for Seattle, and I thought he would be a major cog with a full season there in Seattle. Lucas Dostal is out there. That could impact the Pacific.
No, Dostal, now that Gibson's out of the equation,
right.
He's the man.
Yeah, for sure. But do you remember the rules? If they can't get something signed, they go into the free agent pool.
So no, there's a couple ways. So again, this is concerning RFAs, number one. And if memory serves me right, you're going to see a lot of players file for arbitration. That's a placeholder that basically gives the team and the plenty of time to work out some type of deal, because the arbitration hearings aren't for sometime in August or even September, if I'm not mistaken. They're definitely down the road. We can agree on that. Whether it's weeks or a month away, it's down the road. So it gives teams time to play and work and get things worked out. You have to be a certain number of NHL games played or age or both to file for arbitration. A first-year player just can't go in there and do it, I don't believe. So it's a process that ends up taking time based on age. And at the end of the day, if a team and a club can't come to terms with an RFA and arbitration wasn't filed, I think it's like December 1st, where if they don't come to terms, that player cannot even play in the NHL. And the only thing they can do is they can go play overseas for the rest of the year and then come back to their team, because the team still has the rights to the player.
So VGK did lose the one arbitration case, right, with Nate Schmidt, but they avoided arbitration. Correct me if I'm wrong here. Was it Hague the last time, and I think Carlson too? Were those the two?
I think so. I'm drawing a blank. I know a couple of them got close and they worked out like 11th hour deals.
Yeah, they really wanted to work those out.
Carlson might have been arbitration too. I don't know. I mean, that'd be an interesting arbitration hearing. Bro, you scored 6 goals last year. You scored 40 goals. I don't know how the arbitrator would figure that one out, but that'd be fun to watch.
I just want to, before we wrap up for today's show, I wanted to talk a little bit more about Rasmus Andersson. Is VGK closing in on a deal? I'd say about 70-75% they're home. I think they're going
to find a way, Tony. And I know there's an argument among VGK fans right now. Do it next year when you don't have to give up anything to sign him. Well, yes and no.
Play fair. Number one, you have to clear the space.
Well, there is no salary cap in Vegas, Tony. Come on, you broke your own rule. You broke your own rule.
I did tweet that out. You're right.
But number one, you want to get that 8th year. So if you sign someone free agency, it's only a 7-year max. If they're under your contract, you can extend them for up to 8 years.
AKA the Marner rule.
The Marner rule. There you go. Exactly. The Marner rule. So that's number one. And number two, back to the Marner rule. Every day that this goes by, another team could swoop in and make a deal. They could make a trade, and they could make a pitch to Andersson. Hey, this is why you should consider coming to LA, or things like that. And they can also drive up the price the longer this goes. The same thing applies if it goes all the way to free agency next year, all the way to July 1st, 2026, where Carolina goes knocking on the door, and any team, Edmonton looking for defense, any team. So VGK actually has the leverage right now. Andersson wants to come here. Get rid of a prospect that I'm sorry is better off elsewhere. I will happily say that about Connolly. Get rid of a draft pick that could be the next Cody Glass or Peyton Krebs. Get an established D-man. And last thing I'll say, people are concerned about wingers helping everything. There's always a 20-goal scoring winger out there via free agency. There's always a 20-goal scorer. As far as an 80-game D-man that's reliable, that can produce on the blue line, those are much more difficult to come by.
Yep, and he'd be on the top pairing, I think, whoever he's with. But he's
going to play 20 minutes a game, whatever that equates to.
Yeah, first or second pairing, and he's played just about every game. We appreciate everyone tuning in.
The window's open now. Do it now. Win
Do
the
it
cup
now.
in 2025-26.
We appreciate everyone tuning in, especially our everydayers around the world. For my man, Chris Golick, I'm Tony Cardasco. We'll see you Tuesday right here on Locked On Golden Knights, and please take care.